Okay, we are live.
Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, listener.
Hello there.
How we doing over there today, Eric?
Eric is doing good. Doing well on the whole. Trying to stay positive with, the world and the news with where everything's at these days. So trying to keep the day sunny.
That is that's good advice. I've been having a tough time doing that the past couple days.
Yeah.
Even this morning, I was grumpy. I was a grumpy Raiden.
It sucks when you're grumpy because it's not fun to be grumpy.
It is
But
not.
sometimes that's just how you feel.
Yeah.
You got to get it out.
Well, I'm glad that you called me yesterday to do this, because I feel like the past couple of days I've just been at home, going.
Just in your room, just shaking, just like...
Pretty much, yeah. Just spending too much time on the internet, that's for sure.
Well, it's such a dark place right now, particularly right now.
Exactly. Well, maybe let's get into it. Let's talk about kind of what we've been looking at. You were just looking up something. What?
Yeah, so I guess what we're talking about here, for everyone who hasn't pieced it together, the recent Epstein files dump that the DOJ sent out. Pretty crazy, wild fucking stuff.
Big time.
On there.
Yeah.
Disturbing, really sick.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Committed by these people.
Yeah. So, we got allegations, obviously, of sexual assault and human trafficking.
Yeah.
But then, you go one layer deeper. We got blackmail. We got killing and eating people.
Like cannibalism.
Yeah. We got satanic rituals.
Yep.
And
it's just really nasty stuff.
Some murder. A lot of disappearing of people.
Yeah.
A lot of disappearing of kids.
Yeah. And there was a picture that someone thought looked like Jean-Benet Ramsey.
Who's that?
She was that girl that was murdered in 1996 in Boulder, Colorado.
Mm.
They made a TV show about her. Well, it hasn't come out yet.
But
big news story back then.
Okay. And so she popped up in the...
She popped up. Apparently.
What I find crazy is just how...
It wasn't actually her, but people really think... Well, maybe it was. People think it looked like her, but it wasn't confirmed to be her.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is just like, if you're in U.S. politics or in business, he really knew everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He knew everyone, and if he didn't know you, he knew someone who knew.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the crazy part to me.
When you're an asset like that, you kind of just end up...
I guess it's your job to know people.
Yeah, and you get put in positions where it becomes easier and easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just get access to everyone.
Yeah.
So, really...
And the more money you have, and the more means at your disposal, how can you not?
I guess so. Yeah, so that's the crazy part to me.
Well, what I think is nuts, but I'm not naive about it, but the fact that Republicans and Democrats are crazy or are quiet right now, I think says a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that they're quiet, but Donald Trump was like, I think Bill Clinton's a good guy.
Yeah.
He was like, I like Bill.
Yeah, he's not so bad.
He's like, I like Bill.
Yeah, I think for sure it just kind of goes to show just like how...
And obviously he's not saying that he's not saying that directly. He's saying that as a way to kind of defer.
Yeah. Yeah, just to not talk about it.
His culpability. Big
time. And yeah, it's kind of I think we talked about it on our last podcast, but I've been watching a couple these were interviews. So this one was about I think it was 4 months ago, by Whitney Webb. Mm-hmm. And she was one of the first reporters to kind of break this story and 2020. I think
Yeah.
it was either 2020 or 2022.
Epstein?
The Epstein story.
2019.
So, but okay, that was when it broke.
That's
the
when
story.
it all came out. Can I some
Okay.
coffee?
Yeah.
But
But
continue.
this Whitney Webb, she's done, I think, a really phenomenal job.
Yeah.
so
Uncovering everything.
of covering everything, and she like knows it very well. Oh, we got a caller. Epstein, is that you?
Oh God, it's Mossad.
They're hearing what we're talking about.
Let me put my phone on airplane mode.
So I think she's just. I was listening to a documentary by her. If I remember to put it in the show notes, I'll link people to it. Phenomenal interview. She talks about because what she really talks about is that like when it comes to this Epstein thing, it's like one, Epstein's not the only Epstein. There's lots of like pedophile blackmail rings have been going on for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
But what she talks about too is that these power networks they get handed down generationally. So
within families.
Within family. So if you look at Ghislaine
That makes
Maxwell's
her
father, Robert Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Yeah, he was very powerful in the publishing business, and he inherited. And he was he was linked to Mossad and he was a notorious money launderer, blackmailer, and he inherited his money laundering and blackmail business from. I'm going to butcher the name, but this Whitney Webb person goes into quite a good detail. It was from a guy who's a Monaco guy, a Monaco banker guy. And that guy inherited it from someone else. So it's like this, it's like a family business, and it's just been passed down generation to generation.
That is so scary.
Yeah. And it just kind of,
it's crazy.
It's interesting because it just kind of goes to show how power and influence is.
And I would imagine there'd be something convenient about that too.
Oh, big time.
It's not like you have to go source or interview or
and a lot of
find
times
someone you trust.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, like how you build trust in these networks is usually the person who is. It goes back to like kind of generational trauma as well too. It's like the person, you raise that person in it, you abuse them, they become incredibly loyal to you, and then they have someone who they raise up, abuse, and they become, and it kind of gets passed down.
And there'd be like there's a plain hierarchy.
Yeah.
In those situations, I would imagine.
I would think so as well.
Like some sort of leadership roles, and everyone kind of knows how it works.
Yeah, and it's trust based. That's how like gangs operate. That's how cartels operate.
Yeah, a lot of them are family operations.
And it's trust and violence. That's how it's run. That's how it's organized, right? Yeah. I trust you. You violate the trust. You die.
That's incredible.
So I know I'm laughing, but yeah, it's pretty crazy, and that kind of ties into. So we won't go too far into that because I know we ranted about that last podcast, but what I was going to say is that kind of ties into what we were talking about. What's happening in Canada?
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of the conversation, what this is about how Canada and the elites and the government as a whole are kind of compromised by mainly by China.
Big time.
I mean, we were who was Sam Cooper?
Sam Cooper. Yeah.
Do you want to give us a little?
Yeah. So Eric and I, before we started the podcast, I was showing him. I had read this guy. He had written a book. This was probably. I read this just coming out of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
Book called Willful Blindness. And this Sam Cooper, he broke the story about money laundering through BC casinos and Vancouver and Toronto real estate.
Yeah.
It's the Vancouver model and the Toronto model. I think that's what they called it. And yeah, just kind of he went into a lot of detail about how the CCP runs influence campaigns on Canadian political parties
and elections,
and influence on elections through these money laundering networks, triad networks, and a lot of it is through like former Hong Kong police and crime networks as well too. And so they're kind of, and that's through their United, I think they call it the United Workers Front or the United Front. And that's essentially kind of, they essentially go through the diaspora in Canada, because Canada has a large Chinese diaspora, and they
What's that, diaspora?
Diaspora. So it's like
the demographics?
yeah, so like you would be part of the Norwegian diaspora.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and I'd be part of the Italian diaspora.
Interesting.
So it's like kind of like you're a person who is originally from one place living in another place. Mm-hmm. So you have like some sort of connection to your original place. And so like a lot of these influence campaigns that go through the diaspora in Canada, they start with, Sam Cooper's reporting is, they start with sometimes they're relationships of convenience and profit, where it's just like you're just paying for influence.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's threats or veiled threats about, taking away opportunity, livelihood, or hurting someone back home.
Wild.
And and so the Sam Cooper guy, he really goes into detail about through the cooperation between China and Canada. China has gained a lot of access and understanding of how Canadian intelligence networks work. So if you think about this would be like the RCMP.
The Five Eyes? Is that
So
that's more of an international...
That's more of the international thing. But that he was talking about the Five Eyes, where Canada is losing its position in the Five Eyes. So the Five Eyes is U.S., Australia, UK, New Zealand, and Canada. And Canada is losing its position in the Five Eyes because, especially the U.S., doesn't trust that Canadian intelligence networks, that they can share information with them without it getting to Chinese intelligent networks. So just like super interesting. And yeah, so we talked about...
That's so serious.
And the reason we started talking about this was, if you're listening to the news, there's some suspensions, I'm not sure about arrests yet, of Toronto police officers.
There were seven. One retired.
One retired? Okay, but and especially with influence in towing companies and trucking companies.
And moving companies.
So, and a lot of those are through, they're I don't know if it's, I think I'm sensitive to this because I always remember, like growing up, like my parents were in real estate and the development community. Mm-hmm. And what's super interesting about that is like, if you look at Calgary specifically, like Calgary has racial enclaving, and whereas like you'll have different races in, concentrate in different things. And like a big one for me was like growing up hearing about the Italian enclave in Bridgeland. And then I'm trying to remember, and then a lot of the second generation, and I think it was when my dad was in kind of high school, a lot of people moved out of Bridgeland to the suburbs. It was kind of like a white flight for Italians. Yeah, moved out, and you had like a lot of immigrants. So I'm trying to remember what year that would have been, but obviously
Bridgeland is like what? It's quite diverse now.
Yeah, so definitely more diverse, and it's changing as well too, because I think there's pressure now. I think if you're rich and wealthy, there's pressure to move back into the city, where it used to like it's kind of like what's old is new and new is old again. So it's like now everyone who's moved out, if you've inherited wealth, if you're wealthy, you want to move back into the city. So there's going to be a regentrification of the city, inner city, and then that pushes like people who will displace people who can't afford it out of the city, and then we'll probably all cycle again. So that's just the nature of the beast. Yeah, but anyways, kind of going back to these diaspora. So essentially, Sam Cooper's saying that there's just been an unwillingness, and I've seen it probably everyone who's listening has seen this, where there's extreme hesitancy to bring up the anything about race when it comes to compromise in institutions. And like, I feel that within myself, it's a very uncomfortable thing to talk about.
It 100% it is, but I really don't think it should be. Like, not because, like, imagine if this was Russia doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, damn the Russians, but it doesn't matter because they're white. So you can say like, oh,
exactly, it'd be the exact same, but there'd be actionable response to
big time. Oh,
which I think is kind of hypocritical, because it's like, I don't care that they're Chinese. I care that they're fucking with my country.
Yeah, big time.
That's it. That's all that should matter.
Big time. I totally agree. But that is like definitely where it becomes really challenging, because it's hard for people to look past that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the same. It was. I was listening to something yesterday, and it was talking about that, where I think it was. This had to do with, I don't think it had to do with Canada. It had to do with the States. But if you look at people within the government who were most likely to sell secrets or switch allegiances, it was either a Russian American switching over to Russia, Jewish American switching over to Israel, Chinese American switching over to China, and so then in this interview, he's just like, and then, you know, like I asked that when I was getting my training, like, what are we supposed to do about that? Like, and he's just like, you're supposed to, like, the trainer was, you know, brought that up, and he's like, you're supposed to ignore that. And so it's just like,
ignore which exactly?
Ignore that, like, there's more Chinese Americans who are defecting to China. There's more. Yeah. You're supposed to ignore that fact when dealing with it. So that was with the U.S. centric, and that was, I think this guy, he was, that was from a couple, you know, that was from, you know, probably a decade ago. But it was just kind of interesting where it's just like, yeah, you're supposed to ignore that fact, which is interesting. So it's like, for me, like, I would be at risk of, so my thing would be like, hey, so if you look at me, right, it's like, I'd be at risk at becoming an Italian, what do they call that? Defector, yeah. You know, but I feel like we have less scrutiny right now because, like, and you would be Norwegian, right? But it's like, okay, those are kind of like,
those are allies.
Those are allies and white countries, right? So it's like, okay, like it's not as big of a political thing to bring that up. Mm-hmm. But it is like, I don't know. I just think that, it's the Sam Cooper guy. I think he does a phenomenal job at just bringing it up and talking about it, exposing what's
happening.
Yeah, because I do think it's a big.
Well, it's going to be a monumental issue, I think.
Yeah, and that's why Canada is like
in trouble.
A little bit in trouble, especially like they're losing. Well, I think that's why the U.S. is also being extremely hawkish as well too. One, because and it makes sense. Like, honestly, like, I don't blame Carney or anything for leaning up against China. In my eyes, I think Carney should do that. He should play China and Canada and the U.S. off each other.
I get. Okay, sorry.
Continue. So that's my opinion.
I get that. I just think. I think signing a deal may have been a little mishandled.
Yeah, big time. Well, I don't know, because it does give him like.
I mean, you can back out of a deal whenever you want, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that could be.
If a country wants to do something, a country's got to do it.
Yeah.
Unless they're forced not to.
Yeah.
Or they can't.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like important to talk about. And man, like we were watching some CBC takes or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm getting very frustrated with CBC takes. CBC takes and anything that's coming out of Eastern Eastern Canada, like specifically Ontario.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's like so patronizing. And it's like, I always, like, for me right now, it's like, no, that's propaganda. Like, yeah. It's just like, well, like, I can't remember who it is, the Asian guy who was just like,
Andrew Chang.
Is it Andrew Chang? Is it? Yeah, or whatever his name
I
is.
think so.
The guy who is like, one, they don't put any comments on YouTube, which is extremely frustrating. We've talked ad nauseum about that. But two, he's just like, oh yeah, like the U.S. is really hurting. There's like a lot of, I'm just like,
I feel like they cherry pick a lot of
yeah, big time.
their data.
Yeah, I think so as well too. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased. You know, maybe that's our Western bias showing.
I think it might be a little bit, but I also think, I also think it's warranted.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like patronizing. So it's just like, yeah. So it's kind of like well, and you know, that is what they say about propaganda. Propaganda is not there to inform, it's there to demoralize. So I always watch that and feel a little demoralized.
You know what that makes me think of is, and what it kind of low-key reminds me of is during at Dunkirk, the German pilots would drop flyers that just say "You're surrounded," and it was like fish in a barrel or something on the poster.
That's pretty much that's exactly
like,
what it is. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we are.
It's Ottawa being like, no, we're strength, we're strong, we're strong. It's just like,
you're in Alberta.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we fucking generate all the wealth for this country. Yeah. If we left, that would be a disaster.
It'd be a shakeup. It would be a shakeup. I
feel
think
the rest of the country would go with it eventually if that happened.
Yeah, man. I think that like most people, I think, you know, I love Canada. I love Canadians.
I do too, yeah.
Sometimes I get really frustrated because we are so docile is not the right word, but we're so polite that we just kind of go along to get along.
Yeah.
So I think that is. So I think if like you're just like kind of like a dick and just like, hey, we're separating, and then you just like are really pushing for it, most people will be like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I hate to say that, but I think that's true because I recognize that in myself where I'm just like, nah. Yeah. Like sometimes I get irked about it, but I'm just like, you know, like I definitely think I was talking with a friend about this a couple days ago, where I think it'd be really I think it'd be good to push for it and then just get more rights like Quebec does. Yeah. Like if you just say we're separating, we're joining the US, and just kind of use like the Trump negotiation tactic where it's just like we're separating, we're becoming our own country, and that's where you anchor the negotiation, and then what you really get is just like, okay, you get more seats in the House of Commons, you get a little bit more. I think that would be a great play. Yeah. And then really, because I think what Ottawa does as well too, and this makes sense because of like the language barrier, I think Quebec and Alberta should align each other. Like I think that they're natural allies. Like they should be helping each other. Yeah. I know that there's a lot of resentment, but
there's a lot of cultural.
There's a lot of cultural difference. There's a lot of like there is like some like resentments, but I do think that like if you're able to if you separate that for a moment,
like detach and look at it from a
more
right
objective.
Now.
Yeah, where it's like I think like I think they could be like politically aligned, where it's like, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So on a political, you know, grand strategy within Canada kind of thing.
That is a good take.
I think that would be. I think they could really help each other out.
I think. Yeah, because the way I see it shaking out which I feel would make the most sense is if Alberta left, let's say we get our separatist movement through, I think we would naturally take Saskatchewan with us. Yeah. And then if BC is landlocked, or not landlocked, locked
separated,
off like blocked from the rest of the country, I feel like a lot of people in BC would want to join.
Yeah, specifically interior BC for sure.
People that aren't in Vancouver or Victoria. Yeah,
interior BC. I was looking at this map, and it was like proposed map, and it was like if there was a separatist movement, it'd be Alberta and Saskatchewan, and then you would take like the tops of Manitoba, connect it to Saskatchewan, that gives you access to the Hudson's Bay, and then you take the top of BC and give you access to the Pacific Coast. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. What I would also say is that what you could do is go straight up, because, and then you could be.
We could take a territory.
Yeah, if you take the Northwest Territories, you would have you'd have more geopolitical cachet because you're now in the Arctic fight, and so you have
and they have quite a lot of.
There's a lot of natural resources there. The Mackenzie River, which kind of comes down, is
at its peak. There's a lot of Arctic coast too.
Yeah, a lot of Arctic coast. Yeah, a lot of port access.
Yeah,
it'd be a big development thing to get up there. But that being said, if you do separate, it's probably easier to get foreign capital to develop that because you're no longer dependent on Ottawa. You're writing rules as they go along.
Oh yeah,
so
the U.S.
You're technically a younger country, and younger countries are easier to write policy for. You are a bit of an unknown, so I don't know. It might be.
There's something.
There might be canceling out there.
There's a lot of money.
Yeah, but in the Mackenzie River specifically, I think it's like it's like one of the largest basins of natural gas in the world.
Oh wow!
So, and then there's like lots of the rare earth mineral stuff is like a big thing. And then I think like the big thing too is just like processing. So like you'd have the tough part would be getting. I think the different indigenous factions together, but there are a ton of like pro resource development, bands, tribes, whatever you call it. I think that would be a bit more of a tricky. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to
like the native.
Yeah,
you know who would know a lot about that?
Eddie would know a lot.
Eddie would know a lot about that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It would be interesting. Yeah. I don't know. That's my take.
Oh, I'll bring him on the next pod.
Yeah. We can talk grand strategy.
But that would be fascinating, and I feel like the rest of Canada would be in a really weird position.
And I feel like you got like enough young men who are like kind of who are relatively underemployed to be and pissed off to be like, yeah, let's just do it. Do it for the story.
Yeah.
Do it for the dad.
There's what, 5 million people in Alberta?
Yeah, I think just under.
Yeah.
But
that's a healthy country.
Yeah. Like and it's like you got a lot of, for 5 million people. That's a lot of land space.
I mean, and then you had it wouldn't just be Alberta. Too.
Yeah, people would leave, but also people would come in as well too. And then that's why I think like the Quebec, like negotiating for a Quebec style type representation in the House is like a really good play because because I don't know. I think it's possible. I think it's possible because I think it would be good for the dad, like the dad lore. I think there's like a lot of guys who are just like, everything kind of sucks.
I think that would be great for dad lore.
Yeah,
raising a family in a new country.
Yeah, it's just like Dad, tell me about your life. It's like, well, everything kind of sucked, and I was kind of depressed. But then there was this movement to separate this country or separate Alberta from the country. And we did it.
Overlord of Canada.
Yeah.
Never once said before.
Yeah, and it increased my economic opportunities, and it was kind of fun. We made made lots of friends along the way.
Yeah, we helped design the flag.
Yeah. Man, I saw there's some guy on Twitter who did a tier list of all the provinces. I don't know if it was flags or
we have a really good flag.
I like our flag a lot. Yeah,
I have one.
But Alberta was in A tier, not S tier. Oh, I was like, I don't know about that. BC, and then I couldn't tell. I didn't know what the flag was for the other one. I just kind of briefly looked past it, scrolled by it. Yeah. So, but it wasn't. I don't think it was Ontario. I think it was like a maritime province of some kind. So,
yeah. Well, what? So,
yeah. So, anyways, if you want to let us know what you think in the comments below. Should should Erik and I help the separatist movement, or should we help the stay movement?
I know someone who's big
on the separatist.
Well, who's cashing signatures. Whatever the
term is.
Yeah.
Who's like taking the signatures?
Yeah, you know them.
Okay, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm curious what Jonah thinks about everything that's going on.
shout out to Jonah.
Yeah. Jonah Smith.
YYC.
YYC.
Well, let's ask him.
Yeah. We got to reach out.
All right. Well, we'll let you guys know how this shakes out next pod.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, Angels Café update.
Okay, so it's getting demolished. It's official. The city exercised this 30-day eviction notice.
Oh, damn.
So they're getting booted out.
Dang.
Yeah.
And I guess we don't know what's...
we have no idea what the future has in store for them.
Dang. So...
Not yet, at least.
If you have a fun story about Angels Cafe...
drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments. Or go to their Facebook and write it on their Facebook wall. Or
exactly.
let them know. So, yeah.
Support the culture.
Big time. Okay, so listener, thank you for listening.
Thank you, listener.
Yeah, please let us know what Eric and I should do with our free time. If we should...
let's start a militia group for new countries.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. I was
grassroots military.
I wrote a blog post about that, and it was everything on my mind. It was it was a bunch of practical stuff. Clean my room, clean the house, do all this stuff, and it was start a political party, start a militia group, that'd be kind of fun. I was thinking of doing that at my parents' place. Our neighbor, she invited me to do a High Rocks. Have you seen those?
High Rocks?
A High Rocks. It's kind of like a Spartan race or
no, but that sounds cool.
It's kind of like that, but I was thinking where my parents are, they have that road and all of the snow is melted off that. I'm just we could probably organize an event like that and do it weekly or something like fun. That or every month or something out, like that. Yeah. I feel like that'd be fun. Yeah, I think we got a
Spartan race exactly.
Spartan race, it's Spartan race is
it's kind of
like you do a half marathon, so but then there's obstacle courses in.
It's like a mini Ironman, but it's
but it's more obstacle course based. And same with a high rocks is less obstacle. A Spartan race is you'd be it's let's say it's
it's not a military boot camp sort of
kind of. And the High Rocks is kind of similar. So but Spartan race is kind of more boot camp-esque. High Rocks is more just
climbing-esque.
More just there's you I think for this one she I'm not doing it, but I think I'm gonna go and watch it. It's in April, but it's it looked like it was you run 1 kilometer, then you do I don't know a bunch of burpees. You run a 2nd kilometer, and then you do you have a medicine ball and you throw it up on the wall, or then maybe there's pull-ups, push-ups. There's it's just kind of an exercise in between each kilometer.
Regiment.
Yeah, and then Spartan race is more they have you run, and then the first I don't know, the first obstacle,
something you gotta jump over.
Yeah, or there's a mud pit that you have to, or you have to crawl underneath the barbed wire.
Crawl,
One of them there was they have cattle prods.
Oh shit!
And so you have to run through while getting electrocuted, kind of thing. So
Christ.
So it's I think Spartan race is a little bit more intense. High Rocks is more workout based.
Okay, that makes sense. Based.
But I was thinking we definitely have enough room to do something out there.
Yeah.
And I
you
think
know
that'd
what
be
you
kind
could
of fun.
do? Have you? I saw this one fantasy football punishment. Deer hunting.
Ooh.
But everyone has a paintball gun, and one guy dresses up as a deer.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And then you just light him up.
Man,
he's just running around.
I gotta check our garage. We had a bunch of paintball guns. I don't know if my mom gave them away or not.
Really?
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Get them tuned up. Make a little course. So that neighbor invited me to the High Rocks. Her boyfriend her boyfriend hunts. It was actually pretty cool. At Christmas time, we went over to their house, and he had his friend over, and his friend had so my cousin. He lives in Minneapolis now. We can talk about Minneapolis stuff another pod.
Another pod.
But him and his wife lived in Canmore for a time, and they taught at, I think it was Canmore High School. I think Canmore High School. And his friend played football and was coached by my cousin.
Really?
At a certain point. So I was like, oh, man, that's cool. So I was like, oh, small world. Yeah.
Jinx.
So that was cool. So shout out to my cousin. You know who you are. Shout out to my neighbor's boyfriend's friend. You know who you are. And yeah. And yeah, let us know if you'd like to join our militia out there.
Yeah. If you bring a weapon, you get a free
T-shirt.
Yeah. You get a free T-shirt. Also,
Yeah.
you get an extra Coke with your lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, actually, no free stuff. You get a 5% discount on your T-shirt or something like that. Alrighty.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you, listener, maybe listeners.
I think this was a good one, so listeners.
Big time. So we'll talk to you in the next one.
Ciao.
Ciao. Bye.